Hi, this is Matt once again. Welcome back to another video. And this time I'm starting a batch of requests for Carson. He sent in about 4 of them. First off, I apologize for the lateness, Carson, but thank you for your patience. I'm trying to get to these as soon as I can, but thank you for your generosity. I really do appreciate it. And for those interested in requesting any type of videos, whether it be a movie review, a re-review, a topic, a tier list, a ranking, commentary, a video game playthrough for an hour, a full playthrough, whatever the case may be, feel free to send it either directly to my PayPal. Do have a CashApp as well. Links are down below in the info box, and I will get to it as soon as I possibly can. And for those who sent them, thank you. I really do appreciate it. And cheers. You know, it's funny, my nose was not itching. Apparently I'm allergic to, maybe I'm allergic to dogs. Or I'm allergic to dog shit. Which is what this movie is. It's dog shit. Now, the next film I talked about from Carson, I actually did like, was a nice surprise. This, on the other hand, I saw Underdog from 2007 once. I think when I worked at the video store. And when you could rent movies for free. So, hey, I got 2 days off. I rent a bunch of movies for free, watch them. I'm not paying anything, so if it's bad, sometimes I flip through them or just fast forward. And okay, I got the gist of this. Fuck this. At least I know what it is. It seems shit. This one, I vaguely remember the cartoon. More so the theme song. I think that's what most people remember, if they remember Underdog, is the theme song. Underdog, Underdog. In 2007, was there an audience for an adaptation of Underdog? Now, I'm sure the mindset was, it's a kid's film. It's a film with talking animals. Sometimes they become hits. Was the Snow Dogs or Toby Green Jr.? Some of those films, they do become surprise hits, and they make a little bit of chunk of change of money. So Studio Do well. Has a little bit of that. Has a little bit of superhero. This is around the time films like Spider-Man 3 is coming to theaters. This will be for the family. So hey, don't watch this film. That's hopefully cute. And here's this beagle. And speaking of talking animals, Dr. Dolittle. Eddie Murphy, that was a hit. And it got a second one, and I think a direct-to-video third, and maybe a fourth, but anyway. So I'm sure that was the mindset. But I don't think they were, I would like to think, that they didn't think, oh, this big following of Underdog supporters that are going to rush out to the theater to see this. Because if they're banking on that, no wonder this film didn't do well. Because this film did not do that well. It did not make much of any money. And I can see why, because you watch the film, it's just so generic and forgettable. It has a 4 point something IMDb. I can see why. So I'm coming at this film as a guy that never watched the cartoon, vaguely remembers the theme song, and it just comes off as another generic, lame family film with lousy lines of dialogue, some very, how do I put it, half-hearted performances, at least from some of the cast, and nothing really that clever or unique or creative. I mean, maybe if you, with the right cast and the right voice for Underdog and the right writing team, maybe to create this kind of fun parody of Superman. And that's not what they do here. Now the cast, you got Jim Belushi, who was in K-9, a much funnier, better movie with Jim and a dog. You got Jason Lee as the voice of Underdog. You got Peter Dinklage as the villain. You have, oh, what's his name? Patrick Warburton as the henchman. Brad Garrett from Everybody Loves Raymond, he plays a Rottweiler who tries to bully Underdog at some points. Jim Belushi, he has a son played by Alex Newbiter, I don't give a fuck his name is, because he sucked ass. How would I call him? Shitty. Or Sucky. Jack Sucks. Who plays the son of Jim Belushi. He fucking sucked. I guess he was in Running Steer with Paul Walker. I liked that film. Maybe he did fine in that film. Okay, but he sucked ass in this. And he only did one more movie and was gone. Okay. Now, hey, maybe it's not his fault. Maybe he had an iffy director. Maybe he had bad direction. Maybe just because the script was lackluster. Maybe that helped make his performance shitty. Or he sucked. Or maybe both. I don't know because I wasn't there. All I can see and say is what I see. In his performance, his dialogue was not naturally delivered. Especially when he's trying to do emotional moments. He just doesn't. He dropped the ball and then some. The plot of the film. Oh, another person who's in it. Taylor Momsen. She is the possible girlfriend of the son character. She was Cindy Lou in The Grinch, in the Jim Carrey 2000 Grinch film. I'm like, okay, so yeah, it's 7 years later, so she's grown up a bit more, of course. So that's who she is. And then the voice of the dog, who becomes the love interest to Underdog and his... Is it Shoeshine? Yeah, his secret identity, his alter ego Shoeshine. That female dog is voiced by Amy Adams, which is ironic because she's playing pretty much a Lois Lane type of character, and then she'd be Lois Lane in Man of Steel. So there you go. In the plot of the film, Underdog is part of the bomb squad. He thinks there's a bomb in a box. They open it up. It's ham. He screwed up. And then they just let him go. I don't know if that how it works with police bomb squads, but they just let him go. Like the dogs badmouth him, and the beetle walks out the door. I guess takes off its vest, or how the hell it did it, and just walks down the street. Is that how it works? If the dog screwed up, you just put him outside, and it's not, hey, let's train him more. Let's train him in this, train him in that. Find him a home. No, we just let him walk outside. We don't even follow him. We don't even try to get our vest back. They just let him walk outside so he could be taken without any grief, without any kerfluffle by Patrick Warburton and taken to Peter Dinklage, who's a mad scientist dealing with genetic experiments. They're ready to inject something in the beetle. The dog gets out, and then Patrick Warburton tries to leap, but then he accidentally himself does a front roll to flip across the fucking counter. It was kind of a weird editing, weird thing. I don't know, just something about it was weird. Overcompensating, maybe. And while the dog's trying to escape, it grabs onto the shelf, it falls, a bunch of chemicals go on him, and he's able to go through the door. Ultimately is found by Jim Belushi. Jim Belushi used to be a cop. His wife died. He doesn't get along the best with his son. He dropped being a cop to be a security guy. His son doesn't like that because you should be out there and you should be out there being a cop and helping people. I'm sitting there going, aren't most people be like, no, please don't do that so you don't fucking die? Usually it's the other way around. Don't be a cop because I want you to be safe. Go do a safer job. No, this kid wants his dad to do a more dangerous job and maybe get killed. This character sucks. He's shit, Jack. Jack shit. That should be his name. That's his name, Jack shit. Because he ain't got jack shit to do with this. Oh my god. Hate this fucking character. The son is a fucking douchebag. Not the actor, Alex. I don't know him, never met him. I'm talking about the character. He's such a fucking dipshit douchebag. So Jim Belushi takes the dog home, and the son eventually figures out that the dog can talk, and he can understand it. It can catch a frisbee from very high or very far away. It can listen in from very far away. It can dig a big hole. It can talk to, they say, humans. It's strong. It can even fly. Someone's in trouble, which is the girl and her dog. He tries to fly. He goes through a fucking office. Saves the day, and with a little bit of hijinks and comedy. And then it's supposed to be like the kid the son trying to hang out with the Underdog. But the son character is just so annoying. Like, there's on the news this jewelry heist. And it's like, you could go save that. You could go stop that. And Underdog's like, I just want to be a normal dog. I just want to be here, and I'm still getting used to being a pet. And the son's like, well, when my dad was a cop, my mom died, and then he stopped being that. So you need to, like, go do some stuff. I'm like, you trying to give a guilt trip on a dog because your mom died? Maybe your mom died because she knew you were going to live. Maybe she knew that you were going to live, jack shit, and said, I need to leave the world because I want to be in a world with you in it. Maybe that's how she died. That should be the twist. She died because she didn't want to be around you. So shut the fuck up, jack shit. Fuck all. Jack of all trades of shit. And just like the dialogue, it's either Underdog saying, well, all humans look alike, or Jim Belushi comes in and this better be chili, or it's dog shit. Get it? He stops the heist. They did a costume for him. He's trying to figure out a tagline, a catchphrase that he should use. He stops a cat burglar. I'm a dog and I don't like cats. Like, this is the dialogue. He stops a runaway car. He does just that, but then the newspaper's like, oh man, he's on People. Well, I guess to be fair, if you see a flying dog, it would be on People magazine. And okay, does the plot? Okay. Calm down. Long story short, with the plot, the son tries to deal with the girl. Underdog tries to deal with the female dog. As Underdog takes her on a trip as if it was Christopher Reeve and Margot Kidder in Superman the movie. The bad guys find out who Underdog is because he accidentally left his collar behind, so they follow it and they kidnap Jim Belushi. The dog and the son rush there, and the dog's like, fine, I'll do whatever you want, don't hurt him. Peter Dinklage's like, okay, take this, you'll be stripped of your powers, and then I'm going to use what you got, and I'm going to feed it to my dogs. And for some reason they let Jim Belushi live. For some reason they let the dog live and they let the kid live. I don't even remember why. I really don't remember why. The son and the father try to make up, but it's just like, I like Jim Belushi. I do. I heard in real life he's a prick. I heard in real life he's a difficult guy to deal with. I heard in real life he is a complete, utter asshole on set. Apparently, on that show, according to Jim, there's a ton of horror stories where he would just lash out on people and crew members and others. And that was such a horror show to work with him. Probably why you don't really hear much of him nowadays. But as an actor, I liked him in Red Heat. I liked him in K-9. But here, his heart isn't in this. You tell he just doesn't want to be here. He's taking a paycheck. He's kind of just... I mean, he's not in it a whole lot, but when he's there, he's just like... Come on, kid, let's do this. Let's talk about it here. Just very half-hearted. Granted, maybe because he's working with jack shit, and it's like, that guy ain't giving me jack shit, so why am I going to give him half of what I got? And that's such like an awkward conversation just because of how Alex's performance as judge is no natural emotions in his delivery of the dialogue. And the final act is City Hall. There's going to be some bomb, and it's going to mind control everybody. Because now we're at mind controlling now. Which I thought the Peter Dinklage, his whole deal was about these chemicals with superpowers that he gives to the dolls. Now it's mind control. And I'm trying to remember why he had the antidote in his pocket. Like in his shirt pocket, like this. Kind of like this. Like he had a shirt, but it's in there. Just so that even as a regular dog, Underdog can do crazy stuff. Like get on top of this ball and make it roll, and he's tumbling on top of it. In CGI, it's all CGI. Gets the front of Peter Dinklage, rips the dog off of him, but the dog took the antidote, whatever. I think it was, actually, you know what, now I think about it, it was those super pills. That's what it was. See, that's what I'm talking about, forgettable. I'm forgetting the shit already. I forgot that point. Already. Whew. Forgot it. Yeah, it was super pills. He gave the super pills to the 3 dogs, and he had more super pills. He takes one. That's right. See, I'm forgetting it already. I'm not kidding when I said I think, if you don't think it's forgettable, fine, but I think it's forgettable. So he takes the pill, he's underdog again, he's chased around by the 3 dogs. He talks to the 3 dogs and goes, why are you working for him? Yeah, why are you working for him? So the dogs turn on him. Then those 3 dogs leave. I think that's when Peter takes the super pill. Which I'm thinking, I'm surprised he didn't take the super pill to begin with before going into City Hall. I don't know why he would take it after, but whatever. And then Peter starts jumping around as if he's fucking Yoda from Attack of the Clones. It looked stupid, it looked goofy, it looked silly. And yeah, that's around the time that after the dogs turn on Peter Dinklage. And Jim Belushi like rushes in and talks with like the mayor, and the mayor just kind of looks at him and goes, yep, okay, you're hired, you're promoted, yeah, just go in there. And then Jim Belushi, he's trying to run up the stairs, but he's not the best in shape, so it's funny to watch how he's trying to run up. And I'm glad all these cops were able to hear that, so they just let Jim Belushi in. He just comes in and injects Peter Dinklage. Underdog gets the bomb, digs down a big ol' hole, gets up, doesn't get out in time. Which is funny because they make a joke in the montage of the kid throwing the frisbee, and then Underdog goes around the world quicker than he does to dig this hole and leave. So that, I mean, then you make a joke, but you make it seem he's faster getting a frisbee than he is stopping a bomb. So you kind of fucked up on there too. It takes this quick to go around the world, but you know what I mean. You think he's dead, he survives, he continues to be underdog, and the movie's over. If you're wondering why the awkward pause, I know I should not be dead mad because it's just a kids film. There are kids films that are not well liked that I could deal with because they're cute and it is what it is, and like Alvin the Chipmunk movies. I know they're technically not good movies, but I don't get that mad at them. I don't know, just they're not films I love, but they're films that are, they're cute and it's nothing about them makes me mad, and maybe I'm not expecting. I don't know, just something about them is like, okay, they're just harmless, cute, whatever. And maybe I'm just reminded of those because Jason Lee is in those and he's in this. But it's just this one, I didn't find really anything cute. I didn't find anything fun. I didn't find any of the jokes funny. I think the dialogue was lackluster, to say it nicely. Jason Lee, I think, was a bad voice for Underdog. He was miscast. I liked Jason Lee. I like Mallrats. I liked him in Enemy of the State. He's on a bicycle, gets hit by the bus or whatever. I don't think he works in this. I think him as Underdog, it just wasn't... just sounded more awkward than anything. And he did do voice work. He was the villain in, The Incredibles? This, so I just don't think his voice fits the look, the feel, the tone of Underdog. Again, they should have gotten someone that maybe would have fit in a Superman capacity, but then you play it up because it's a dog and make a bit of like a parody on it. But Jason Lee, that voice just would never work as Superman. And I know he's not trying to be Superman. I just thought it was miscast. I just don't think it was the right fit. Even when you listen to the voice of Underdog in the original cartoon, it definitely there's nothing similar. Also, I think in the cartoon he was an anthropomorphic dog, and here it's just a regular dog. I think this movie, you have to embrace more of the zaniness and silliness because it's a dog that will rhyme and have Superman's powers. You gotta embrace the zany and goofiness of it. And this one, I think it played things maybe a bit too safe to the point that it was rather boring, rather uneventful. The action scenes, honestly, a second or third rate superhero film will have as much or better action fight scenes than this. The special effects, I mean, maybe at the time you just say they did the best that they could. But I mean, the CGI is very noticeable. Peter Dinklage, I'm not really a big fan of him anyway, so I didn't really care to see him as the villain. Jim Belushi I liked, but I thought his performance was half-assed, half-hearted. Patrick Warburton, he does the same shtick he does in pretty much every movie he does, but I like his shtick. And he's the only one that got a smirk out of me. He's a henchman that at times will look at a thesaurus. Then after this lab explosion, it only has the P, so he tries to use all these P words. And again, if you like Patrick Warburton's shtick like me, it's fun to see him in the movie. It's something he can do in his sleep, though. He's done it dozens of times. But I still smirked at some things he did, or said, I should say. The love interest for both the son and the dog is kind of whatever. Indifferent. I said, it didn't really do anything that clever or quirky or original, and it just comes as a very forgettable movie. It's a very uneventful movie. I can see why people have forgotten this movie exists. Because what would they remember? And I just now it's even more obsolete because now you got Crypto and the new Superman coming out. Another flying dog. I didn't see that movie. Was a Secret Life of... What was that? The Super Pets movie? Then it had like The Rock and other... I never saw that film. That was an animated film. That came out a few years ago. But yeah, this movie... I'm curious. How much did it... Like I said, I know it didn't make a lot of money. I'm kind of curious. It made $43 million in the U.S. $65 million total. So $43 million in the U.S., $65 million total, and the budget was supposedly $25 million. So yeah, it did not do well at all. Because yeah, I think $25 million plus marketing and other expenses, plus you gotta split whatever you make with the studios, because they gotta get their share of the profits as well as the studio does. So more than likely they lost money on this. And $25 million is not, compared to their movies, usually is not a lot. But yeah, this didn't make money at all. That's why you didn't get a sequel. That's why they didn't... I don't think they've done a single fucking thing with Underdog since then. So I guess... If that's the case, there may be something I don't know Underdog related, but if that's the case, then this killed that franchise. That's a sad thing though. Like if you do happen to be a fan of Underdog, I didn't follow it. I didn't know shit about it, other than hearing about the theme song and seeing clips years ago. And again, I saw this film once when I worked at the video store. But if you're a fan, and then like you wish people would do more with the character, like me, Popeye. I love the character Popeye. I wish they could do more with Popeye. But they were going to do an animated film, they got canceled. Some say it was because of the Emoji Movie, others say no, actually that wasn't the case. It's just because they felt there was no audience and they just canceled for those reasons. I think that was the case. But no, let's do 3 horror movies of Popeye. Which no, I've not seen any of them. I've not reviewed any of them. And I haven't been requested any of them. But yeah, there's 3 Popeye horror films. Tell one that piss me off. If I ever do see them, pissed. But I would imagine like, if you're a fan of Underdog, you'd be pissed with this because it killed any potential. Hey, let's do something on animation front. Let's do a cartoon reboot. Let's do something. No, not with this. Dead on arrival in theaters. Stop. Let's do something else. I mean, hell, Alvin the Chipmunks, whether you like or hate those movies, they at least got 4 movies. And from the ones I've seen, I'd rather watch them in Underdog, because, like I said, this one just put it to sleep. Sound like fucking Freddy Krueger and Freddy vs. Jason. Put this bad dog to sleep for good. Neuter its ass. U stand for... It doesn't stand for Underdog. It stands for a united front to stop any more of these fucking movies being made. Upchuck Dog, or... I've stiffed my fucking underwear, dog. Anyway, I'm rambling. I'm petering out. I got nothing else to say about this. Thanks for watching. Take care. Thanks for dealing with my rambling. We'll see you guys later. Fuck the dog. This is why I'm a cat person. Later.